So there's no doubt momentum's picking up for SoFi stock and the entire stock market. I mean, guys, we're up over 2% pretty much across the board today so far, and SoFi's up over 5% as we're getting closer and closer to earnings. Now we're less than a week away from SoFi's earnings, so I want to break down what I'm doing. We'll cover the options chain, break down the charts, of course, as always. But first, hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe and join the free email stock newsletter, which is linked down below. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive into it. So like I said, we're up across the board right now. It's about 1 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have SoFi up now almost 6% as the S&P's up 2%, QQQ's up 2.7, the Russell is up over 2%, and we have the Dow Jones up 1.4%. Pretty good day as the VIX is down about 5% and we have gold down over 3%. So clearly volatility's dying down, not completely obviously, but it's back in the 20s, the VIX is, and we have gold now starting to come down from that $3,500 an ounce level, which is, it's nuts how gold got there, but we're noticing kind of a flight out of safety in the very short term now and into equities. That's what we're getting today, although silver is up 2%. Silver's up. But gold is down, the VIX is down, and we have SoFi, like I said, pushing $12 a share. In fact, earlier in the day, we were almost in the mid-12s. You heard that right. We hit $12.35 earlier in the day, and now we're at about, $11.90, trying to get back over $12, and it kind of looks like it might. It might, guys. So we got some crazy momentum this morning. I think at one point we were up 8%, 9, almost 10% on SoFi. Now it's seen a little bit of a drawdown, which makes sense. I mean, look, we went from 12.35 down to about 11.70, so we gave back about 5%, and now we're starting to pop back up here. You're noticing that on the intraday chart in real time as I'm making this video. And check this out here, guys. We are now seeing that inverse head and shoulders that we called out. It's starting to play out. Not fully, but it's starting to look pretty good. You guys see here the left shoulder. We have the head right here, boom. Then the right shoulder is right here. That is starting to play out. This looks pretty good. And now with this move we're seeing, we're actually breaking out of the highs from 2 weeks ago. Do you guys remember what happened? Not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that. That's when we got the news that Trump is pausing tariffs and the stock market went crazy. SoFi went to about 1150 and now it's starting to break out of there. You guys notice we are actually holding 1150 as support. Now we're starting to bounce back to almost $12 a share. That's a great sign in the short term on the charts here. We also have a golden cross on the 1 hour time frame, and we're above both moving averages, which, we haven't been for a while. So we're starting to shift back up here. And even on the 4 hour chart, you guys are noticing we're breaking out of the 180 SMA, which literally we haven't done that since the middle of February. We're talking almost 2.5 months. It's been 2.5 months since SoFi's been in this downtrend. And don't get it wrong. Don't get me twisted, guys. We're still not fully breaking out yet. We're still in a downtrend, but we're starting to maybe, just maybe, see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're now noticing, again, we're breaking out of these moving averages, and it all comes down to earnings. It all comes down to earnings, which are on Tuesday coming up. This Tuesday coming up, the 29th, in the morning, and we're going to cover the earnings, guys, so make sure to subscribe, follow along for more content. And if they crush earnings, if guidance is strong, man, this could be going up like no other. The breakout could be occurring fully, which is kind of why I'm on the fence right now about selling covered calls. You guys know I've been doing that here with SoFi over the last couple of weeks. I'm hesitant to do it again here on this pump because earnings. Earnings, guys. One word. Earnings. We don't want to miss out, or I don't want to miss out on the upside here, and that's the main risk with covered calls. Let's say I sold, for example, the $13 calls or something, made some nice premium. It's actually not that high of a premium right now, but let's say I did that and SoFi exploded to 15 bucks after earnings. I would have to cough up my shares at 13, so I miss out on the upside. And let me show you guys the options chain, how we're kind of looking right now. So the ones that expire in 2 days, they're pretty much worthless, right? They're at 9 cents for the 12.50, 3 cents for the $13 calls here, but pretty worthless, right? So I'm looking usually a couple of weeks out at least when I'm buying options, and when I'm selling them, same thing, kind of 3-4 weeks out. So let's say, for example, I was gonna sell, or I were to sell covered calls on SoFi right now. They're looking pretty juicy. The premiums are looking pretty juicy if you ask me. So for example, the $13 calls that expire on May 16th in 23 days, they're looking at, or we're looking at 60 cents, guys. 60 cents for a contract. So multiply that by 100. Essentially, it's $60, right? To buy a contract, it's $60. And if you sell the contract, you're on the other side of the trade, you're getting $60 deposited right into your account. But again, the risk is if the stock goes crazy after earnings, let's say we go to $16, right? You're going to miss out on that upside because you sold the covered calls and your shares are being used as collateral at $13 a share, right? So these are looking juicy, man. It's it's tempting, I'm not going to lie, but the stock's at $11.85 right now. 13's not too far away. Might be cutting it close there, selling that strike. Let's see. If we go up a little more, let's say we sold the $15 calls that expire on May 16th, 23 days. We're looking at about $19 in premium per contract. That's not that bad. The 1450s, $26 in premium. The $14, $34 in premium. And let's say we go out even further. Let's say 30 days away, May 23rd. We give it some more time. Look at this now. I mean, clearly we're seeing a lot of demand for these $12 to $13 call options here. I mean, geez, man, if we sold these $13 calls here, we're getting $70 right into our account, $70 in premium, which is pretty freaking good, man. If we look at the $12.50 calls, which that's way too close to where the current stock price is. But let's say, for example, I sold these $12.50 calls that expire on May 23rd. I'll be getting $87 per contract into my account deposited. Think about that. And, it's not like you're going to lose money if the stock goes crazy. You just miss out on the upside. And if you do it right, if you make sure you sell covered calls at a strike price above your average cost, you're going to make money regardless, right? But your upside might be capped. Keyword is might. But this one's tempting. Let's say, for example, you have 1,000 shares of SoFi. You want to sell covered calls against all your shares. Let's say you want to sell 10 contracts, right? You're literally going to get, you see that $87 number right there? You're going to get, where the heck did it go? Come on. You're going to get $87 times 10. You're going to get $870 just for selling covered calls, right? Just for doing that. And essentially for the next 30 days, right? And you don't have to hold the trade for that long. Obviously, you won't make the full amount of money. If you, let's say you sell to open, that's how you open up a covered call position. If you buy to close before the expiration date, you're going to have to pay back some of that premium, but you keep the difference, right? But if you let it expire worthless, right, and SoFi doesn't go to $12.50, you're going to keep $870, guys. Think about that. And that's just in about a month of being in the trade. That is insane. That's insane. And people, like I say on this channel, they underestimate being on the other side of the trade. If you have hundreds of shares of stocks out there, any stock really, you can sell covered calls and make some pretty good money every month. Again, think about it. 1,000 shares of Sofi might seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, that's about what? $11,000, $12,000 in Sofi stock. Not a crazy amount of money, not a life-changing amount of money, and you're able to make, $800, $900, a month pretty much, at least where the premiums are now, just by selling covered calls. Think about that. That's pretty powerful if you ask me, and now I'm freaking tempted to do it. That's the problem of making these videos. Now I'm tempted to sell covered calls, these $13 strike price, calls. But again, with earnings coming up, I kind of don't want to do it because I don't want to get my shares called away if the numbers are super strong for SoFi. But I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about it. And of course, I'll make a video going over exactly what I end up doing, right? And for that, for you to see it, you're going to have to subscribe. You're going to have to follow along. So make sure to do that. Hit the like button as well. And join the free email stock newsletter where I do a write-up and go over my top stocks for the week every week. That's linked down below. Same with the Patreon. If you want to be in the Patreon and see what I'm doing in my real money portfolio every single week, that is linked down below as well. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.